Morning folks, back out at Trent Lock. It's Sunday, not sure what the date is, first Sunday after New Year's, and it's pretty much the first decent day we've had. So I'm looking at the sunrise over the marina down at Sawley, about 10 minutes before sunrise perhaps. Back out again with my Hasselblad. Hey, and there goes the sun, just starting to poke up through those trees, so that's going to really mess up my compositions. Anyway, it is a fairly basic composition, using the two lines of boats to lead you into the sunrise and the power station at the end. It's a fairly straightforward composition. Shooting Portra 160, so I've got a aperture of 16, shutter of 1/8 of a second. So I'm just going to re-meter this though, because the sun's just popped up, and I'll take another shot. So peaceful down here on Trent Lock, especially when there's no wind. You can see all the smoke coming up off the chimneys on the boats. Yeah, could definitely see the appeal. So I've taken about 5 exposures, most of them from before dawn, when these clouds in front were picking up the pre-dawn sun. That was beautiful. So I'm hoping that they'll be okay, so I shall put them up. Let me know what you think. So I've also been trying out this new light meter this morning. It's a Kodak 500cm Zoom Master. Seems to work very well for probably I don't know, maybe a 25-30 year old piece of electronics. I guess the proof of whether I used it properly will be in the pictures, but touch wood, it has helped. I was using what I think is the precision method of exposure. So I was getting 2 readings, one from the brightest parts of the sky, and then one from not the darkest shadows, but the darkest areas that I wanted to keep some detail in. And then I was lifting the exposure a couple of stops from the lower value, and then making sure that the highlights were no more than 3 to 4 stops above the set value. Anyway, we'll see how that comes out. But that's it for now, I think. The sun is well up and very bright, and there's just too much contrast now. But hopefully those earlier pictures will look fantastic. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Morning folks. It's a couple of days later, and I've come back down to Trent Lock. What fantastic conditions we got this morning. Yesterday was not so bad, but over the last week it's been very, very foggy. not much in the way of sunrise, but today, very, very calm. No wind. The loch is like a mirror. It's beautiful, and there's just a little bit of mist just hanging around. So yeah, I've just done one composition back up by the bridge, looking down towards the power station. That was very nice, and I'm just now walking down to the river, to the Trent, just to go and see what that's like. Give you a bit of a quick panoramic over the loch here and see what I'm looking at. It is absolutely beautiful. Here we are. This is the shot I'm looking for. So I walk down the side of the Trent on the north side, with the golf course just behind me. Drop down onto one of the little Fisher pontoons, and that gets me right down at the Trent, right down at the river, with the power station just on the far side. It's a beautiful little shot. I think we can just about make it out now. So I'm gonna set up and see what happens. So I've just moved slightly back down the riverbank just to try and get a little bit of a cleaner image. Just metered, and we are looking at f16 at 60th of a second. Beautiful misty shot in front of me. Yeah, it's looking very nice. Let me just spin the camera around. You can have a look. So yeah, I can't remember whether I mentioned, but shooting with the Hasselblad. Okay. So the Hasselblad is a waist level camera, so you look down into the reflected image in the top. So this is what I'm seeing. We've got f16 at 60th of a second, so we shall do mirror lockup, and we will take the photo. So, such a peaceful morning here. Yeah, nobody about. So, just turned to the right and found this very, very minimalistic reflection shot here with these trees on the far bank. Yeah, it's It's beautiful. So I think I'm gonna take this one as well. Let's see how that goes. I've metered again on the skies and on the bank, which looks like it's about the darkest part of the image. Yeah, so we're looking at about 11 and a half 60th of a second. So I'm just going to check focus just to make sure it's right, and then we'll take it. So I slightly tweaked the focus there. So shooting at f/16, you get very shallow depth of field. So I can kind of shoot at the hyperfocal distance. So you set infinity to the f-stop. But on this, I've actually focused directly on the trees, and we'll see we'll see how that comes in. Okay, so just slightly tweaked the exposure by a half a stop, just to compensate for the sun that's popped up. So we are, and I think probably I will shade the lens just to make sure we don't get any flare. So I am now at f/16 60th of a second, focused on the trees. I'm going to mirror lock up. So I've got mirror lock up, and so this is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to turn this off now. So I'm going to shade the lens, and I'm going to take the photo, so I've got to put the camera down. As I was walking down this morning, I saw what I thought had an image with a lot of potential. So it was the church in Sawley, across the fields from the railway line. But when I walked past it, the sun was still below the horizon, and although you had a lot of really nice mist and trees, the church itself was in shade. But now that the sun has risen over the clouds, I think the church is going to be sunlit, and hopefully the fields are still going to be in shadow. So just under the bridge over here, I've got one shot left on this roll of Portra. So I'm hoping this is going to make a great image and be the last one of the day. So as we just walk on through underneath one of the arches, this shot should reveal itself. Wow, that's fantastic. Even better than I thought, because it's got the dark, moody clouds behind it. This should be an awesome image. Right, I'm going to get set up, and then I'll very picturesque, if I say so. Yeah, what an interesting little shot. I'll just turn the camera around, you can see what I'm looking at. So, over the fields, we've got the church at Sawley with some sun on it, and some mist, trees. Yeah, fantastic. This should be a really good image. I'm going to have to re-meter because when I metered, the sun came out. So I'm just going to re-meter, and then I'm going to take the shot. Last one of the day. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so here we go. I've re-metered. It was still f/16 at 30th. But I don't know if you noticed, but if you look on the ground just there, you can see my shadow. So I'm going to take the photo, but I'm going to have to duck down behind this tree stump and try and get out of the image. And the church has just dipped into shadow. So I'm just going to duck down, get out of the way a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So I'm out of the way. I've got mirror lock up, so I'm just going to sit and wait for the for the clouds to move and just try and get a bit more sun on that church. This is a waiting game now. Okay. See you now. Well, that's a bit frustrating. So while I was waffling on to you guys, the sun disappeared behind the clouds, and it doesn't look like it's going to come back out again. Yeah, but I've got nothing to rush back for, so I am still going to wait and see what happens. It might surprise me. It might pop out again. We'll see. It needs the sun on this image to really make it work. But yeah, we'll hang on a little bit, see what happens.